Hello, welcome back to another episode. And today we're going to talk about healing. I want to talk about this topic because I've been getting a lot of questions. And also, I have seen other people who have gone through the process of healing and they turn out to be more frustrated and more angry, more in pain. So today I want to talk about this topic because I feel that it's necessary and it's very, very important to know the process a little bit more deeper than what we hear on social media or what somebody tells us it is about, but know more the details of what's really going on when you go through the process of healing. And I want to share this with you because I have gone through the process, and like you, I was confused, I was angry, I felt like I was falling behind. Why am I even doing this if I'm going to feel worse? So I totally understand you feeling that you have gone through the process, whether it's through constellations. Some people have done those things where they understand their trauma, they understand what they have done, but then they can't seem to figure it out how to get out of there. Or it's other people who has mentors and they have gone through the process of this is why you're not moving in your business or in your relationship, or this is why you're stuck, or this is how you sabotage yourself. They understand that, they go through the process, but they still feel the same. And many times we hear this through people who are therapists, coaches. I have here this in coaches of personal growth. They said, well, what you're feeling is totally okay. It's gonna go away, and then you're gonna be fine. Just focus on the possibilities. Focus on the positive stuff that is happening to you. But as the person who's going through the process, somebody telling you that is actually making you more angry. It makes you more frustrated because you feel that they don't care or they don't understand the pain that you're feeling, and they don't even seem to want to know more about it. They just kind of diminish what you feel or what you're going through. And so it makes you feel that you're alone in an island. And today I wanted to tell you that you're not alone for feeling what you're feeling. If you feel resentful, if you feel angry, if you feel frustrated, you feel lost, you feel like, why did I even started this? I don't want to know more. I'm just angry now. I'm losing it all. I'm done. I don't want to keep going. Or you just don't even know how you feel. I understand that process because I went through it myself. I might not know how much is hurting you right now, but I can tell you that it's going to be okay, that you are in the right track, that what you're feeling is not something that you shouldn't feel, but it's not something that is not true. Like some people will say, well, keep your mind on the positive and think about that what's happening right now to you is an illusion, that you just live in an illusion and then sooner or later it's going to go away. Well, yes, it's an illusion, but it's also true to your body because you're a human. You're not something out of this world. So the pain that you're feeling is true. It's true to your body. But also remember that you will not stay forever in that pain. Because today I want to explain to you the process of transformation so you will understand that why you feel what you feel. First, when we start the process of healing or transformation or personal development or personal growth, whatever you want to call it, when we start that process, is basically like somebody calling and saying, I have a home that is really, really dirty and I don't know what to do with it. So you call a professional to clean that home. You don't try to do it yourself because you know that the amount of dust, the germs, the bacteria that it has formed in that home, the mess that is everywhere is too overwhelming for you, and you cannot do the process alone. And that's why you search for somebody to help you. In this case, maybe a coach, maybe a therapist, maybe somebody who specializes on what you're going through. So you call that person, and that person is going to assess what's going on in you. And what I see out there is that many people, coaches, therapists, they just see people just like we see it in a cleaning business. In the cleaning business, you will see people who just throw numbers like, oh, this is how much it's going to cost because your homes is 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, so normally it's $350. And they have not even seen the home. They have not even seen what equipments are going to need, how long is it going to take. They didn't really see the areas that they're going to clean. And that's what's happening with coaching, with therapists. Many therapists and coaches, they just tell you, oh, this is what's going on with you. Read this book, do this thing, and move along. And when you come back and you say, hey, but this hurts, and it hurts more than normal, what should I do? They just say, oh, just do this other exercise. Try not to focus on the negative, focus on the positive, and you'll see that here soon you're going to be okay. But that is not really the way of healing. If anything, is creating more pain for you. And now you feel the pain even worse because now you open the wound. It's really open, it's raw. So now you feel it even deeply. And you feel that that person who's supposed to help you, who's supposed to help you see what's going on in your body, how to heal, is just kind of saying, well, move along, move out of the way. I have another person that I need to attend. And you feel like they don't care. And sometimes they don't. They don't care because they don't care whether you heal or you're not. And I have experienced that myself when I went through the process. And I always tell my husband that I've been the person who trusts doctors, who trust the process here in the world that we live in, but I also put my trust more than anything on the Creator. And that's one of the reasons why when I went through the process of healing, when I felt that I was not giving the attention to what I was going through, they were not helping. If anything, it was creating more pain. I turned to the Creator. And when I turned to the Creator, He showed me the way to heal myself, the way on how to attend what was going on in my process. And that's what I want to share with you. That when you go through the process of healing, at first it's chaos, as a mess, because you're starting to awaken to where you're living in. Before, you didn't even notice. You didn't even care to acknowledge what was happening around you, your environment, how you interact with others. You did not care to look at that. But as the pain progressed in your body, in your emotions, and everything in yourself, you start to search for, how can I get this to be better for me? I don't want to feel this pain no more. Or I don't want to feel stuck anymore. Or why is my business not growing? Why my relationships are dropping? Why is this happening to me? That was the moment of awakening. And when you awaken, that's when you start to search for somebody to help you, for meaning, for something deeper than just strategies, than what this person says, this other person says, but a deeper thing to help you release that pain. So when you go through the process, you start reading the books, you listen to podcasts, or maybe you have a coach or somebody who's helping you through the process. And that is okay, because they're helping you sort it out. What is it that you're no longer needing? What is it that you're still holding on that you have to release? That's part of the healing. But that is not all. Sometimes people think that I just need to know where it's coming from, and that's it. That's the beginning of the process. That is step one, to start to figure it out, what is no longer part of you and that you need to let it go. Now, through that process, you're going to identify those things. And now that you identify them, you're going to separate. You're going to separate them in a different pile, just like you're cleaning a home, like you're going to declutter your home. You're going to start separating what it needs to go and what it needs to stay. So in that process, don't rush it to integrate, because a lot of people, after they acknowledge their pain, they acknowledge where it came from, they acknowledge that they need to release it, right away they want to integrate. Integration means start doing things differently. But you cannot integrate if you have not cleaned the areas where you're going to put this new furniture, these new beliefs, these new ways of life, this new way of you living life differently than before. So after you acknowledge what is to keep and what is to release, now you're going to start to let go. And in that process is pain. And it's a pain that is so deep that some people do not want to continue. They will rather quit because the pain is so much. And that process of letting go, first, you have to forgive yourself, forgive the people who hurt you, forgive the people you hurt, forgive your past, forgive everything that it created joy and it created pain. In some of us, when we acknowledge those things, it becomes so painful, because it's something that you stored on your subconscious and you never wanted to let it out. You were always running out on automatic or running by default, but never really making a conscious decision or acknowledging where all this pain was coming from. So now that you know where the pain is coming from, now it's becoming even more painful, because now you know what you did yourself to hurt others and how others hurt you. So then you start to see your life and you start to see the pattern that you kept running in life, and you kept blaming other people for their actions, but you never really look at yourself to see the destruction that you were doing to yourself and to others. I have a woman who went through the process, and she was saying, I don't understand why I feel this way. I hate myself. I hate my life. And I think, what was the point of doing this healing if I was going to lose my partner? I was going to lose some of my business. I was going to lose my friends. And right now, I hate everything, because some of the people that they were with me, they're gone. My partner left. He said that he needed a break from me, and I needed a break from him. And so I feel like everything is crumbling down, and I don't know what to do. I thought doing this healing process, it was going to help me to be better, but it's destroying me. And I don't understand it. Even my body, I'm so sick. I cannot get no better. And she started screaming really loud, and she started hitting the furniture because she was so angry. And you can see the pain in her eyes. You can see the pain, how it was crushing her. And the person who was doing the therapy with her said, "You did a good job. Don't judge yourself like that. Just think about it, that what you're living is an illusion. That is not true. You see yourself, that you don't feel good. Do you feel good?" She said, "Of course, I don't feel good. Why are you asking me that question? I just told you how I feel, and you're still asking me that question?" And she kept going on, very, very angry. So I said something to her, and I said, "You're going through the process. You're on the second part of healing. That's why you feel this way. You feel shame. You feel anger. You feel frustration. You feel loss. You feel that your life is chaos." But that's part of the cleaning. When we do a cleaning, at first, it looks like chaos. Before it looks neat and spotless, first it looks like chaos. And that's okay. Don't try to suppress your feeling. And that's what I'm here to share with you if you're going through this process. Don't try to suppress the feeling, and just because somebody's telling you, think positive. That is not happening. If I can tell you something, is that you are so much better than before. You didn't need those people. Those people fall off because you don't need them, and they didn't need you. In the moment, the person who's going through the pain, she doesn't care to hear those words. She doesn't care, or he doesn't care for somebody to say that. That person just wants to feel acknowledged. It just wants to feel that what I'm going through is okay. It's part of the process. I'm not lost. I'm not in this island by myself. But when somebody says, "No, what you're feeling is an illusion. You should not focus on that." Yeah, your mind understands that. Your mind understands that you should not focus on that. But the heart, the body understands something different. Because the body and the heart is still anchored to the past, is still anchored to that pain. And right now it's registering in the mind. So the mind is judging you and saying, "Look at what you did. Look at how many people left you. Because you were mean, because you were doing this, because you were doing that." And it brings shame. And that's okay. That is part of the process. Don't run away from it. Because that's where the hero is made. When the pain is happening, and instead of backing down or running away, you stay and you fight that battle. You say, "Yes, I acknowledge that I create that much pain. I also acknowledge that people gave me pain. But I'm also acknowledging that from here on out, I'm no longer going to be that person, because I'm going to transform everything that I was giving and everything that I gave to other people. Today is a new day. Today, I'm going to make a change." And don't try to run away and try to fill up your mind, your heart with positive thinking. No, acknowledge your pain. Because when you really acknowledge your pain, you truly feel it in your heart and in your body, in your mind. That's when change happens. That's when everything that you feel, you can transform it to forgiveness. Forgiveness for yourself, and forgiveness for the other people who hurt you. So you cannot give forgiveness to somebody if you're running away from fully seeing the picture of the pain. The pain that it was done to you, but you also done to other people. So if you don't acknowledge that, you will continue to live life in shame, in guilt, and always running away from the past. But no matter how fast you run, it will still find you because it's with you the whole time. So don't run away from the battle. Stay in it. Fight it. But don't fight it by trying to change it. Fight it by letting it be and really understand what is happening. Because this woman wanted to know, how can I not feel this anymore? How can I not feel this shame? How can I forgive somebody when right now I'm so angry with these people on what they done to me? And when I told her, how do you feel in your body? She said, I'm in so much pain physically. My head hurt, my body hurt. I feel like so sick. And she sounded sick. And that is another way to know that you're on the right track. When your body is physically ill, because your body is not just purging emotionally, it's purging physically. It's finally the nervous system being calm enough to say, okay, I will release everything that I've been holding on. Because when the body starts purging physically and emotionally, it's because you finally stop. Because you finally stop running after the next strategy, how to grow my business, how to have a better relationship, continue to seek for a different partner, how to parenting before with my kids, all these other things that the world says that we need to continue to chase, we finally stop. And when the brain is stopped, finally the body can use that energy that it used to give it to the brain to give it to the whole body. So now the body gets to feel as a whole. And when it starts to feel, it starts to tell you where it hurts. It starts to tell you, hey, this cannot continue to go. And that's why many people said, I should have continued to work. Because now that I stopped working, I feel like my knee is hurting. I feel that my back is hurting, my shoulders. I feel like my head hurts. I feel sleepy. I feel really tired, and I'm not even working. And you know why you feel those things? Because those things were there already. But now that you slow down, the body finally is showing you what it needed. It's been speaking to you, but you were so focused onto your goals, onto what you want, that the body was sacrificing himself for you to achieve what you want. And that's why many people achieve these great things, but then they lose their health, they lose relationships, they lose the things that you cannot buy with money, with fame. They lose all those things, not because they lost them when they had the money or when they had the fame. No, those things were already in the process of being lost, but you never pay attention because you were so focused on your goals, whether that was fame, that was money, whatever that was. You were so focused on that you didn't realize that on this side, you were running on empty. But the body, it was putting all the energy on what you wanted for you to continue to go to protect you. The body is so smart, and now that I'm learning more about it, I was like, oh my gosh, how our body, God made it so beautiful and so smart in a way of protecting us. That when we put certain things in front of us, the way to protect us is I'm going to take the energy that you use on these things to put it into your brain, to put it onto the things that you want, so you can get what you want, and maybe then you can give me a break. Maybe when we find those things, or when you get those things, finally I can relax. Finally, I can release the pain. I can release the things that you're putting me through right now. So I'm going to do everything I can for you to get what you want. But what's happening after? Many times we get what we want, but then we feel empty. We still feel that we need to achieve more. and more and more and more. So the nervous system never gets a break. And some people learn that they should have a break into their laying on their deathbed. That's when regrets come, because that's the moment that finally the body and the mind stop. They collapse because the mind is saying, keep going, do more. But the body is like, sorry, I can't do no more. And in that moment that the body collapses, that's when they look around and they see that they don't have the relationships that they thought they have. They don't have the amount of money or fame that they thought they have. And if they do have it, they see that they lost connection with the people that it matters. They see that they missed a lot of things that mattered to them because they were searching for something that it was like a smoke. Because they allowed the brain to continue to move faster than the body, because the brain, it was in this environment of the past. It was still being controlled by the past, by the pain, by the fear, by not having enough, by I'm not enough. All these beliefs that in the past you learned when you were a child, the brain, it was running by those measurements. So the body collapsed and said, I can't go no more. And that's when the person realized everything that they should have done differently. And that's why healing that past is crucial, because I'm going to tell you something that I never thought that I would say to you, because I was the kind of person that I did not believe that myself. When I started a business, I did all the strategies. I paid mentors. I read books, podcasts. I have shared this information with you. But I can tell you that no matter how much you do, how much money you put into your business, how much you work, how many hours you put into, how much you accomplish, money, I don't know, whatever you desire, money, fame, relationships, no matter what is it that you want, and you work towards those things so hard, and you never really work on yourself of releasing your past, no matter what you do and you accomplish those things, you will never, ever, ever, ever going to be fulfilled. Ever. Because you're trying to put something new on top of pain. And that is keeping you anchored to the pain, to the past, to the fear, to never being good enough. So no matter how much money you have, you will still live in pain. But if you decide to heal yourself, to release your past, to really work on who you are, and the pain that you have gone through, the pain that other people gave you, and the pain that you gave to others, and really release that truly from your heart, from your mind, from your body, you will see that you can do anything, as the Bible talks about, that we can do anything through Christ who is strengthening us, that it is true. Because now you will not do things because you want money, because you want fame, because you're afraid that you will not be enough, because of how people will look at you. Now you will do it because you know it's a bigger mission, it's a bigger purpose. And that, just thinking about that will make you fulfill. Not a relationship, not the money, not the fame, not these other things that we're looking onto the external world, but the fulfillment that it comes from the Creator. That does not mean that you cannot get the other things that you want. The Bible says that when we put our Creator first, everything else, it will be added. And now I understand that. I understand that because I can feel the peace in my body. I can feel contentment. I can feel the joy. And I can continue to work. I can continue to do the things that I feel called to do, but not because I want fame, not because I want more money, but because I feel that that is my calling. I feel that that's my mission. I feel that it's something that the Creator is giving me to be able to show the light to others. Other people who are probably living in pain, that they don't know how to get out of it. God is giving me this journey to be able to show others how they can walk that road, how they can get out of there, and how they can make much of their life. That they're not meant to be here to be continue to live in pain, but that they need to release the past and truly walk beside the Creator. And when you do that, you start to see that everything else that you want, it starts to show up. Not because you're needy, but because you walk in alignment with the Creator. So when you go through the process of healing, don't try to rush through. Don't try to figure it out. Why do you feel this pain? How I need to integrate? How do I need to manifest? How do I need to do this or to do that? No, because you have your own process. And that process that you're walking is going to become your testimony. It's going to become the road that others want to walk, and you will be the one to show them how to walk the road. So pay attention to every detail that is happening in your life. And when pain shows up, don't run away from it, because that is your training ground. That is where God is giving you the gift that you're going to pass down through generation to your children, to your grandchildren, and how you win that battle. Remember that God told the Israelites that they needed to tell the story on how He liberated them from Egypt to their children. So the same way for us, when you go through your process, you need to really slow down. Don't run away, because that will become your story that you will tell your children, your grandchildren, through generations. You might not even be in this world anymore, but your family, your lineage will continue to walk in those steps. Not exactly how you walk, but they will see that you had the perseverance, that you were able to say, enough. I don't want this pain anymore. Life can be so much different. And that will be the role model for your lineage to say, if she did it, I can do it too. And take courage, because they saw that the Creator was walking with you, that you were never alone, and you modeled that for them. So look at your life right now and say, am I really doing what I meant to be doing, or I'm doing something because of what society says, or because they want me to do this, or I'm letting the voices of the outside dictate what I can and cannot do? Start to ask yourself that question, because God is ready to answer, and God is ready to give you the wisdom and to take you by the hand and to say, come on, my child, you have more potential than what you think you have. I made you for more. I did not make you for you to be under the table. You were meant to sit at the table in front of your enemies. So why are you picking up from the scraps? Why are you waiting underneath the table? Get up and keep going. Yellow diamonds in